What's going on YouTube? This is Cletus. This is going to be part 2 of the modification of our tank for Bindi, our green tree python. Once again, this is an Terra 36 by 18 by 24. The first part we covered putting the lexan in the top for insulation to help contain humidity and installing the perch mounts. This is going to be how we're going to attach the radiant heat panel to the lexan. So over here we have our radiant heat panel. I have some aluminized bubble wrap that is going to be insulation. This is going to go on the inside of the tank, and I have the tools that I used and will be using to figure out where to put the holes in the lexan. And let's see, we got my drill. I used the combination square. I used the crayon over here to mark my X's. And then after I marked the X's with the crayon, I scribed a very small X with a utility knife. So, use our little magic eraser here to get rid of the crayon marks. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera or not, but underneath that crayon there are some tiny little X's. Now, once again, we're using lexan because it's very forgiving, it's very drillable, very cuttable, very easy to work with. I am still going to do some step drilling just because that's how I tend to like to do things. So we're going to start off with a very small bit and eventually work up to the size bit for the screws that we're using. I'm actually going to drill right through the screen and everything. So, get started. You don't want it to walk. I want these to be really accurate. I want them to line up good. I'm running the bit at a very high speed, but I'm applying minimal pressure. I'm letting the drill bit do the work so as not to crack, bend, or break the lexan. I also don't want the silicone to come unattached from the plastic. The silicone is going to help to support the radiant heat panel from the outlets. We want as much support as possible. The radiant heat panel is fairly light, but if you can just make it a little better, then why not? This is going to be the final hole. Slow the speed down a little bit because insulation here. I cut these just the right size so they fit right inside and they're not going to interfere at all with how this sled pops back on. Go through the hole. buy this radiant heat panel, the plug does not come installed. They send you this plug, and basically you take this cord, this plug opens up, there's a little clip here, and it pops open. You slide the cord all the way into the back, and then you close it, clamp it down. It is pretty tricky. You want to put this on a good solid surface. I use my table. You got to push it down really hard. They do that so that some tanks just have a small hole in the back of the tank, and what you would do is you install the radiant heat panel and feed the cord through that hole and then install the plug. For this application it wasn't necessary, so I just went and popped it on there. So you want the rough side down facing into the tank, and the smooth side will go up against what you're mounting it to. I have my 2 screws. Because of this metal ridge in the middle, part of the screen top, I'm not going to be able to mount this flush up against the screen. So I bought some nylon spacers. Those didn't come with, they weren't part of the mounting hardware. I had to buy them myself. Screws, some washers, some nuts, and they include these little white plugs in your kit, and that's to cover up these holes after you're done. So these are where the cord's going to go through. So this is the back of the tank, and we want this cord, I want this cord to face the outside of the tank. So we're going to go like this. Rubber washer so it does not scratch up the lexan, with a larger flat washer on top, and the nut. Sag in the screw. Nylon spacer against the radiant heat panel. Through the insulation, through the screen and the lexan. Beautiful. Rubber washer, flat washer. Just gonna reach in. The purpose of the nylon spacer is just kind of keep this, because it's got a ridge in the middle, it's going to keep this from wanting to wobble and just get it nice secure. Mount. I want these to be nice and tight. I don't want this going anywhere. I don't want it falling on the snake. That wouldn't be good. not going to install these caps yet because I want to make sure everything is right. This will go like this. These can come out the back. These Terra tanks have little slots in them right here again to cover up the holes. Get a good shot inside, and that is beautiful. I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead, tighten these down, install the plugs, and this part is done. If you have any questions or comments, I'll check it out. Thanks.